Another sprint car deal comes apart. I've got more on the all-star restrictions, including comments from Rich Farmer, and just what exactly was happening at the dirt track at Charlotte yesterday. Let's go. It's Wednesday, April 9th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. If you need any further proof that silly season and dirt racing is just all the time now, we did have a driver and team split on the sprint car side just last night. Landon Crawley announced he's parted ways with Michael Dutcher's team and the 17 GP ride. Crawley was a full-time World of Outlaws driver in 2024, running the full season with the Jason and Paul Sides team. But he moved to Dutcher's car for 2025 with plans to run a pick-and-choose schedule around the country. Through 14 races together, though, things had been tough for this squad. They made 9 appearances with the Outlaws, making just 3 main events, one at Cotton Bowl and both of the races, or one at Cannondale and both of the races at Cotton Bowl. Their best finish there was a 21st. They also ran the 2 high-limit shows at Central Arizona, making just one of those 2 features. Their best runs of the season were against the POWRi Elite Outlaw Series over 3 nights in Texas, which I think were the end of February, 1st of March. That included a 9th place finish at South Texas Race Ranch. Seems clear via the social media announcement that this was Crawley's decision, and we don't know what's next here for either side. It's already been a busy year with sprint car changes that it's included crew chief swaps, teams changing engines, and of course these ride changes. And we're just barely into April. Crawley now joins Zeb Wise and Dylan Cisney as probably the top drivers on the hunt right now for sprint car rides. Things are starting to pick up around the sport of dirt racing, and for those races you can't attend, make sure you've got access to watch from home. If you need to get a Flow Racing subscription and you want to help out DIRTRACKR at no additional cost to you, you can sign up over at DIRTRACKR.com/FlowRacing. Flow is obviously home to a ton of big dirt racing series and events. They've got plenty of other stuff as well, including other sports. They've got a big schedule, though, of racing coming up this weekend. It includes some big late model stuff and some big sprint car shows. So DIRTRACKR.com/FlowRacing, or you can click the links below in the video description or the Flow Racing links over at DIRTRACKR.com. Going back to yesterday's show about the restrictions from the All-Star Circuit of Champions on its full-time drivers that could have come into play for the Sunday Fast Show at Millstream. I say could have because as of this morning, that Sunday show is actually canceled. It's too wet to run at Millstream on Sunday. But I did trade messages yesterday with Rich Farmer from the All-Stars. He did confirm the policy is in place and that it's basically the same one the All-Stars had used previously under Tony Stewart's ownership. And for reference, I did say that part about it being in place previously on the show yesterday, which seemed to go completely unnoticed by a few folks out there. It was a good reminder that some want to react to just a thumbnail or just a headline and don't actually bother to hear what I say. Farmer reiterated that the policy is in place for the day before and after an all-star show for any races within 150 miles of the event. He did say the races that pay the same as an all-star event are excluded from the restrictions. The justification for using these types of policies is the series wants to protect the tracks that invest in having a series event. Those tracks have to pay a higher purse, they got to pay the full-timers tow money, and they have to pay the series a sanction fee. And keeping drivers from racing somewhere else the next day or the day before for less money protects that investment. I've even heard stories of tracks asking for this policy to be enacted and or enforced by series to protect certain races. Farmer told me, quote, if they, meaning the teams, are willing and able to race down the street for much less and for no tow money, what did the track that raced the night before pay for? Those are all valid points, and personally, I'm fine if a series wants to implement rules like this. As long as the teams know what they're signing up for in the beginning, as they say, you got to make your deal going in. And like we've talked about with the World of Outlaws, then they shouldn't be surprised or complain when those rules are enforced. For those of you in the audience who've been around a while, you know I've said this exact same thing about the Outlaws. I think what needs to be understood here, though, is that there will always be some portion of the community who are going to react negatively to these types of rules. And the comment sections on my show yesterday are proof of that. And really, it doesn't seem like any of the reasons out there for why these rules are in place are enough to satisfy those that don't like them. There's also nothing close to consensus on whether or not this actually works or is effective as a policy. Like a lot of things, I doubt anybody has ever actually done a real study to learn if this is needed or not. Late model racing doesn't use it at all, which is why you'll see all the big national touring guys race with, say, the Flow Series the day before a big touring weekend at a track not that far away. Is that good or bad? I don't know. It's not clear to me, but those guys seem to be doing okay with it. And for the series that don't have restrictions in place, they're going to use it against those that do. If you were paying attention yesterday, the Fast Series actually made sure to point out what was happening this weekend against the All-Stars. And a major selling point for High Limit all along has been that teams have the freedom to race where they want on off days, unlike how things are with the Outlaws. So folks can be upset at me all they want for pointing out this policy with the All-Stars, but I didn't put these rules in place. And it is noteworthy and newsworthy at a time where things are, there's a lot of things happening in the regional sprint car space, and competition is fierce for tracks and drivers and series. One schedule note for you today. This weekend's Super DIRTCar Series show at Can-Am Speedway has been postponed because of rain and snow. No makeup date has yet been announced. The Big Block Modified Tour will be on track again April 18th at Albany, Saratoga. Stuart Friesen, the winner of the lone points race so far, he leads the championship at the moment, although we know Stuart Friesen, not a full-timer with the Super DIRTCar Series. Finally today, a little behind the scenes fun for you. I've got some sneaky spy photos of a NOS energy drink promotional day that took place over at Charlotte Motor Speedway yesterday, including things going on at both the big track, the big paved track, and the dirt track. Nick Hoffman was there with his late model, as you can see in these photos, as was Sheldon Hodenshield. Justin Grant was there with the CB Industries Midget, and a number of other NOS-sponsored drivers. Hodenshield posted a video to his social media with guys getting a golf cart to do a wheelie, and he tagged Chris Forsberg and Ronnie Anderson, RJ Anderson, Tyler Courtney was apparently there, Chris Wyndham, Ryan Bernal, and Shane Golobic as well. We thought initially that maybe there was some quiet testing going on. We heard engines running, so maybe we thought something was going on in advance of this weekend's racing, but it was just NOS doing a little bit of filming. I'm sure we'll see the results of this down the road for commercials and photos and things like that used for social media. That's the show for today. If you've watched all the way to this point and you are not yet subscribed or you don't follow DIRTRACKR, maybe hit that button. It's free. And on YouTube, we are very close to 42,000 subscribers. I think we need less than 70 today to get over 42,000. And the goal for the year is 50K on both YouTube and Facebook. If you're curious about Facebook, we just recently went over 34,000, so thank you for that. And if you want to help us get there, hit that button, and we'll get a little bit closer. All right, hope you guys have a great Monday out there, a great Wednesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.